What's good? What's good? What's good?
Hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up?
You already know what time it is. It's the Pastry Bear Podcast, and I'm your host, Winston Murdoch.
And I'm your lovely co-host, Talicia Baker.
Oh, I like that. The lovely co-host.
Yes.
I got to get me a title now. Wow, it's been a beautiful week, everybody. And now I welcome everybody, and I thank everybody who's been listening to the podcast so far. We love the support.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys. But today, I was thinking that on my way home, I was just thinking about something. So I went to the post office the other day because I had to mail a tweezer off that I was selling, because I sell tweezers.
Yeah,
food tweezers. That's it. For the people who are listening, I have my own line of
Pastry Bear tweezers.
The Pastry Bear food tweezers. So somebody purchased one, which if you want to purchase, you could DM me at Pastry Bear TV or at Chef W Murdoch, just to put that in there.
Or Chef's Vibe.
Or Chef's Vibes. And we ship worldwide.
On Instagram.
We ship worldwide with that. But anyways, back to the story. So I went to the post office. The tweezer or the precision tongs, they're pretty small. They're about 8 inches. And they weigh probably like less than an ounce. So I went there. I had my own envelope. I wrote on the back of the envelope, did all of that. Beautiful writing, because I wanted to make it look pretty.
What?
I don't write pretty.
Your writing
but
is nice?
I took my time to make sure I wrote
penmanship.
it. My penmanship was good. So I wrote it pretty good. And I was like, all right, I'm feeling comfortable. It took me about 3 times, because the first time I messed it up. Yeah, because sometimes think about it. So there's a format that you have to follow, right?
Oh, when you're mailing it?
No. When you're writing on the envelope. So you have to write your address, which is the return address. And then you have to write the address of the person. So I wrote it on the wrong side.
Oh, so you had to
write it over. And then I spelled something wrong, so I had to rewrite it. So it was like the third time, and I was like, okay, I did it. Got up in the post office, right? Got in. I went in the line, but I thought to myself, like, you know what? I don't think the seal on this envelope is going to be strong enough. I don't want it, because the tweezers inside.
You don't want it to open?
Right. I don't want it to just open on its own. So I said, you know what? Let me go and put a piece of tape on there. So most of these post offices here, they have tape. So I walked around. I didn't see no tape. So I saw a tape that said priority mail. I can't pronounce that word. Priority word mail.
Oh.
Priority. Like
variety.
What that? Okay, I don't know. There's some words. Priority.
Yeah.
Priority meal.
Yeah,
oh my God, I got it. Jeez.
I gave you it.
Whatever. So, anyways, I taped I put the tape across it. It was just a clear tape with the written. It's written in red and blue. If you're in America, you know what I'm talking about. So I put it over the thing.
Yeah.
Went up to the thing, to the desk, gave the guy. As soon as I walked up, I saw a look on his face, like he's looking at me like I'm dumb. So I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong now? So I'm looking at, so I gave the letter to him, and he's like, oh, you sending it priority? And I'm like, no. He's like, really? You're not sending it priority? I said, no, I'm not. Why? You asked. He's like, so why would you put the tape on there? I'm like, bro, it's just the tape. And he giving me an attitude in him.
Oh, for real?
So I'm thinking to myself, like, why is he so, it seemed like he was annoyed. And and me being the person I am, like, now, I try my best not to, you know what I mean?
Get upset and get crazy.
Right. Because, sometimes you escalate too fast, and then sometimes it don't make no sense. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
So anyways, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to keep myself calm. I'm going to watch him look at me like I'm dumb. So anyways, he did that, and he's like, oh, this, that, and the other, whatever. And I was like, okay. And he's like, oh, I gotta take it off. So I'm like, bro, it's just a simple piece of tape. He's like, no, but if you put the tape on there, that means it's priority, and you got to pay for it. So I was like, all right, give it back to me. I'll go fix it. So I had to take it out. I had to rewrite the thing again, which I made a mistake. It was actually 5, because I made a mistake.
What?
This is crazy. So I rewrote it. And while I'm sitting in my car, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, it's funny that some people don't understand customer service. So after I did that, I did everything. I found the tape in my car, put my tape on there, clear tape this time. Got back to the register. He's like, oh, so a lady was in front of me. Now this story going in right now. But anyways, the lady's in front of me, and she did the same thing. She put the same tape
priority
on
tape
a box that she had in her personal box. So the guy's like, are you sending it priority? And she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yeah, you can't put the tape on there. So then I start thinking to myself like, oh, this is why he's frustrated. It wasn't that he had bad customer service, but it's just the fact that people keep coming there and doing the same thing. So instantly I was thinking to myself like, okay, if this is something that happens all the time,
why don't
y'all put 2 tapes out there? You know what I mean? Or keep the priority tape inside so people can ask for it, and then keep the regular tape outside.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm not as Charlemagne would say, I'm not the highest grain of weed in a dispensary, but you know what I mean? Some people, it's just crazy. And while I was thinking about that, I thought about a same situation with something similar in the kitchen. Like if you worked in the kitchen before,
yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. So this is one of the biggest things that happens in the kitchen all the time. The server will get information from the and then they send the order to the back, and there's a mistake on there.
And it's crazy.
And then they come back there and tell you,
and behave as if they sent the right thing,
right,
or you should have known
right.
what was the order.
Right. So sometimes, working in the kitchen, it gets really, really hectic and difficult. So today I just want to talk about that based on that situation, and the fact that the guy was just being frustrated because he's maybe I'll tell 5-6 persons every hour about not using the tape. I thought about it in the same instance with working in the back of the house. Like, it's annoying sometimes when you have to tell the server the same thing over and over again. One of the biggest thing I hate about working sometimes with some of these servers is like the restaurant closed at 10
and they coming at
9:56 you hear that machine going off and you like, what the fuck? Excuse me. You like, what the hell are you guys doing? You know what I mean?
It's home time,
right? And I'm like, come on. I don't know if that ever you ever experienced something like that.
Yep.
Where you working and then you
at the last
pretty much
minute.
Like most people, depending on where you're working, they are strict on time. So let's say the restaurant closed at 10. Most people want to get out at like 10:15. So at 10:45, you start wrapping up. You know what I mean? And then at 10:56, 10:57, you get an order, and you know that's going to bring you over into like another 20 minutes into service. You know what I mean?
Plus, I guess not for you, but in Jamaica, we normally clean up, so.
You got to clean the entire kitchen.
Yeah, so
but it's the same thing.
You'll have to
if
stop
you close,
and clean.
So after you finish the service, then you got to clean.
Clean, yeah.
So your shift would be like from 10. It wouldn't end at 10. It would be like 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I've worked in situations like that, but it's like I'm saying, it's annoying when you're working and you try to communicate with somebody about what direction you're trying to go, and they're not getting it. You know what I mean? Like you tell them before. Like most of the times, I tell the servers, okay, listen, the last order should come in at 9:45. Okay. And at 9:45, if somebody comes 9:47, that's it.
Tell
You're not
them
taking it. That's my rule.
I get you.
Nobody listens to that anyways.
And for me, I must say, I had what's the word?
What, job?
Yeah, I had a job, and the boss there, she normally, like open the store until late.
So it's like she don't really have a closeout time
when she's there. So for instance, we close up the store at 5. When the boss is there, she normally open the store until like after 6. So like 5 o'clock, we're cleaning up and stuff,
and then people gonna come in after 6.
Everything. But when we clean the stove and all of that, she got an order. So we have to stop, set up at the stove to make whatever they want.
That's stupid.
Yes. To make whatever the person want, then we have to take off everything back and clean the stove. It was crazy.
That's
it was really crazy.
That's crazy. And then I realized that there's a lot of people that are operating restaurants that has no experience in restaurants. You know what I mean? Somebody grandmother can cook and they be like, okay, we're gonna open a restaurant.
Yeah.
No
precisely.
clue. Absolute no clue what they doing.
All.
You know what I mean? And that's another annoying thing to deal with. I hate when I'm working and then one time I told somebody, I said, yo, if you wanted to run the kitchen, why did you hire me?
Oh, for real?
Oh, yeah, I'm rude like that. Yeah, because think about it. You're gonna hire me to do the job,
and you're gonna,
and then you're gonna come back there, and you hired me because I'm experienced in this area, and you're not. Because if you were, you wouldn't want me to work there. And then you're gonna come back there and tell me, oh no, you know, for instance, like somebody will ask you, oh, you know, I want you to make this, but I don't want you to use this ingredient. And I'm like, okay. For instance, like a cheesecake. I want you to make a cheesecake, but don't use cream cheese. Okay, what do you want me to use? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I get you.
Or you tell them that you want to make a specific dish and you need this
want
ingredient.
something and they don't get it.
And they looking at you crazy like, okay, so...
Why do you need it?
Why you need it? Oh, yeah, because I need it. You know what I mean? But I think one of the biggest problem or you know, yeah, I should say that. One of the biggest problem of working in the hospitality or the restaurant industry as a chef, and we speaking from the back of the house and the front of the house in some sense, is the communication between the servers
and the servers.
And exactly. It is so
horrible.
It is so, I can't find a word to tell you. If any chef is listening to this right now, then they can understand the frustration. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you'll tell a server, right? Let's say you go over the menu and you'll tell them, listen, this dish is served like you say a oxtail, or let's not go oxtail. Let's say some snapper. We serving the catch of the day is snapper, and we serving the snapper with mashed potatoes and garlic butter and chives and some garden vegetables, and you go ahead and you break down the vegetables that's on the dish. You let them taste it, whatever, right? Yeah. And the server go ahead and the guests come in. Now, most guests come to a restaurant, they always want to make it feel like it's a private chef experience. You know what I mean? Oh, because the first thing they want to do is they want to change the entire menu to fit their palate. Oh,
because they want what they want.
Right. So now they come in the restaurant, they read the menu, which is written for them, right? Okay, the menu says the fish with mashed potato and vegetables, right? Let's do a simple menu. Oh, they'll ask the server, what kind of vegetables we have? Okay, the servers may tell them, right? Yeah. Then they'll send back and they'll be like, okay, can you tell the chef
that I want some steamed vegetables
to make me some cabbage? You know what I mean? And then the server they know what's on the menu. And they'll come back there and ask you,
for cabbage.
Oh, can you make steamed cabbage for this? No, I can't make it. No.
I think this is why the chefs are so angry.
Exactly, because it's annoying.
I feel like anger stems from that communication scenario. It's
frustration. I don't understand. If I tell you this is what I'm serving, and then sometimes when you say to one of the servers, like, okay, you know, I told you this is what, but the guest asked for this.
So I thought I'd just come and ask.
Yeah, so if the guests tell you they want something that you're not supposed to give them, you're going to give it to them? You can find a great way to say, okay, you know I'm sorry, but we're unable to do that now because of, you know, the kitchen is busy or
something. It's not on the menu today.
Or that's right. Or the chef is trying to go this direction with his menu. There's so many things that you can say to
avoid
nicely,
all of that,
to you know, pretty much explain to the guests that
they can't get that.
Yeah, I can't serve this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like some of these servers just don't get it. They don't get it. They don't understand it, and it is so annoying. Another thing that drives me crazy, and I know anybody that works in the kitchen will understand this.
What?
When the server sends a ticket in, and they make a mistake, whatever the mistake is, and then they come back there when you send the food out, they make it seem like you did it wrong, and then you got to go through the little thing that you put all the receipts on and put it up and show them. Okay,
this is what you
said you wanted sauteed garlic. You never, you never put in the line to say, okay, I don't want no onions,
tomatoes,
Oh, but I thought you would have knew. Okay, how am I supposed to read your mind? You know what I mean? I remember.
Yo, this is so funny.
I remember. Go ahead.
This is like the realest thing ever. This happens all the time. Yo.
Right. I remember a story, right? So, and this has nothing to do with the server. It was a server and a chef confrontation. I think that's what we're gonna call this podcast: chef and server confrontation. So, we work in an hotel, nice hotel.
Yeah.
Just opened the hotel. It was like a month in. I was supervising. I was the pastry chef, but I had to. It was a small property. It was like 14 villas, so I have to be out on the outside helping out. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So, there's a dude there that he was a chef. He was the executive.
You
chef.
said quote unquote
executive chef. And
exec chef.
We never got along. We never got along.
That's why you quoted.
Right, because sometimes when you're working in the kitchen, some people get threatened by your presence. You know what I mean? And your skills, people get threatened by that. I'm not sure if that's what the problem was, but we just never get along.
Oh.
So, anyways, he's working. We had like a couple of people came in for lunch, but these people that came in for lunch, they were they were the designers for the hotel. So they did the architecture
so they
work.
Were
right. So they came in for a meeting with the big boss. So, anyways, they ordered lunch. One of the dude ordered a chicken sandwich. So. It's funny, Evan. So, anyways, the servers came back. They sent the order in. They came. The dude made all the food, sent the food out. The server came back and was like, "Yo, no." The server came back and was like, "Yo, so and so says the chicken is not cooked." Yeah, and he's like, "What do you mean the chicken is not cooked? Go get the dish." So he's the executive chef.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
And he sent a raw chicken.
Hold on, let me get into my story. Why you gonna tell my story? Why don't you tell your own story? So, anyways, dude got the food back. He sent the food to this is funny, man. He sent the food. I mean, the servers brought the food back, and the server's like, "Yo, the chicken is raw." So, me being nosy, it was chicken breast too,
What?
So the servers opened the sandwich.
That's crazy.
The server opened the sandwich, right?
And it's raw.
It was raw a little bit.
It was head over heels, right?
And dude was so embarrassed. Dude said to the girl, "Yo, why nobody told me that if they wanted the chicken rare, medium rare, well done?" Yo, man, that was funny. So
no, wait, repeat that part.
He said to the server, "Why nobody told me? Why the servant didn't put on the check if they wanted rare, medium rare, or well done?" Now this is chicken breast I'm talking about, people.
Medium rare.
So when he said that, like a lot of the servers weren't that experienced.
Oh,
you know what I mean? They had went to school and stuff, but you know what I mean.
They haven't worked in the hospitality
right. It was like an experience
for a long time,
right? So
okay.
So one of them looked at me, and I'm looking at him like, "What the fuck is he?" Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Cursing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta cut that out. But anyways, I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" And that, that's another kitchen thing. You curse a lot because
a lot.
People annoy you so much. Even if you go in the church, you know what? Let me finish the story.
Let's not stem to that.
I'm gonna get into that. But like when she looked at me, she's like she wanna ask me if it's real. I'm like, dude, you know they don't serve chicken medium rare and rare. So why are you saying that? If you've messed it up, just fix it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just fix it.
What the hell?
I never forget that story, man. That was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. The funniest thing.
That's crazy.
I have so many kitchen stories, man. Even one time, I'm not gonna talk that one. I'm not gonna say that one, but because the person probably gonna pick it up. And that person listened to the podcast, so yeah, I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Oh, for real?
I'm not gonna talk that one. But anyways, man.
Hi, person.
But anyways, like I'm saying, sometimes it's super difficult to work in the kitchen because the communication always gets broken down at some point. You know what I mean? And like I was saying earlier, that's one of the traits and something that I was
realized.
No, I'm talking about like even most of these chefs are so angry. This is why if you check it out, there's a lot of chefs that smokes
and drinks.
You know what I mean?
It's for real.
Because the pressure of working. Let's say you work into a restaurant that's super busy. That pressure can be crazy. The demand is just crazy.
Listen,
and then to try to tailor yourself or your skills to fit these different guests that you're preparing the food for. Sometimes can be difficult too,
and it can be annoying too.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you think about, there's so many. everybody has a different palate, and there's no two people that gonna come in a restaurant and be like, oh, you know what I mean? Somebody gonna want less salt, and especially nowadays where people are so, skeptic about what they eat.
Everything.
You know what I mean?
With their diet, right?
Right. So
gluten free.
Right.
Everything.
And that's another thing that I ate too, man. Like even not, like sometimes people come back there and like, you got it. So like when I'm in a pastry shop working, and somebody will come, there's a menu with desserts on there, and then one of the servers will come back there and ask me, the guest said if you can make something with chocolate. And I'm like, okay, there's a chocolate, this, and this on the menu. Oh, they don't want that.
So what?
Okay, so what do you want? What you want me to do? I can't just pull that on my ass. What you?
Wednesday.
You know what I mean?
Wednesday.
Like, come on, man. And then people ask me, why are you so angry? Y'all, mom, that's what make me angry. Y'all the one that makes me
annoying
angry.
And shit.
You know what I mean? It's super, super duper annoying. Like, I loved what I do, Don't get me wrong. And like now with all this pandemic and everything going on,
it's kind of slow, right?
It's slow.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you're working and the machine keep going on and you just want to punch it off that thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to break it,
And the thing that I don't like, or I should say, when you have the person reading out the ticket, what you normally call
the
that?
expediter.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Oh, I used to love that. I enjoy doing that.
I don't like that. You're there and here. Can I get some fries? Where's the fries? I need
fries on the fly.
Right now.
Fries on the fly.
And then you hear all of these curse words like beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
That
we should
was
curse
so
on this.
horrible.
If we supposed to curse on this podcast, I would have been. I would be going in. I love to curse, man. I love it, man. I love to expedite. I love to be. Yo, and the funny thing, that. Whenever I'm doing that, I get the best out of the people that I'm working with because I'm fun. Yeah, I'm fun with it.
Well,
like sometimes
it's normally fun, but sometimes
people go out of pocket, get out of pocket.
Yeah, sometimes it's like too much, and sometimes the expediter is annoyed with what's going on,
and maybe sometimes it's not even the cooks. Sometimes it's just the servers,
or this is no cook to cook communication,
right?
Because sometimes it's not 100%, if you get me.
Right.
Yeah.
One other thing that I see happen all the time in the kitchen is you have some servers, some of the servers, they be working in the hotel or in the restaurant industry for a long time, and they still don't understand like the sequence of firing a ticket. Like so if somebody comes in the restaurant, right? And this is my opinion. Somebody comes in the restaurant, they order 3 courses, okay? You send the ticket in with 3 courses. So let's say they normally don't pick the dessert right away. So let's say they say you want a soup and a salad, and then they're gonna have chicken for entree. So that's 3 courses, right? The server is supposed to send that ticket in, fire in
what they want,
appetizer. So once you get the ticket, you're gonna fire the appetizer. You fire the appetizer, right? The chef is supposed to start prepping the entree because the entree normally takes probably anywhere between 10 minutes and 20 minutes, depending on what you're cooking. Like a fish may take like 8 minutes, depending on the size of the fish or the type of fish. You know what I mean? And the cooking method.
Style.
Right. So it depends on the cooking method. These are things that are taken into consideration when you're prepping. Now the servers should know. A good server should know the time that it takes to prepare all of these dishes. So they can evaluate, okay, if I order...
It will take
right. If there's 10 people at my table and I put in an order for 10 fish, I know, you know what I mean? Like a time frame.
You're going to get in like
an
hour or so.
Whatever. Yeah. So let's say, okay, so for the people who don't understand how a kitchen works, and again, this is my opinion. When the server puts the order in, 3 courses, the appetizer... Right away, we fire the appetizer, right? Appetizer goes out. The server is supposed to give us a heads up. Okay, fire the salad. Let's say we're serving a soup and a salad. So we fire the soup.
And then
when they're halfway through the soup, the server is supposed to start checking off because the salad ain't gonna take a long time. Most hotels, they pre-prep these stuff.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So let's say it's an a la carte restaurant. So everything is made to order. An a la carte restaurant, for the people who don't know, is everything is made to order on the fly. Okay, so when the order, when they when they see the people almost complete their meal, right? Mm-hmm. The salad, they're supposed to put a fire on the entree. Some servers, they wait
until it's finished.
They wait until they clear the table, then they fire it. So now, this is where the problem comes.
You're behind in the kitchen.
Exactly. So no, this is where the problem comes in, because now the food, as the last plate has left the table over 5 to 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. The guest is gonna get frustrated, because if you're eating, if you had an appetizer, and then it should only be like a good 3 minutes to 5 minutes of wait time in between each courses.
Yeah.
3 to 5 minutes. This is my opinion again, guys. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see a person sitting down for 10, 15,
20 minutes.
Unless they tell you to take a break. Because in some restaurants, you have people that basically, they'll come in, they'll have an appetizer, and then they'll have wine. And they'll drink the wine, and they'll talk, and then they add the salad. Yes, and then they take another break, and then they have entree.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the way a lot of, you know what I mean, upper echelon people.
Fine dining.
Right. If you think about like fine dining, you know what I mean? It's not like a buffet where you just, some people try to rush people out of the restaurant because they're trying to get more people. But if you go to like a real classy restaurant, that's what they'll
do.
Let
you
know, it's timing, you know what I mean? That's why, because they're pushing you to spend money.
Oh,
that's
a lot of sense.
So the difference is, if you go to some restaurants, they try to get volume. You know what I mean? And then you have some restaurants where try to get one person to spend at least 10 grand or 4 grand. I don't know the money they could spend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the communication, which is, I'm trying to tell you where it breaks down, and this is very annoying for the chefs, is when they clear the table, and after they clear the table, that's when they fire the check. Kitchen. And then you firing the check at this point, and guess what happens? They come back there starting to complain. The food is taking too long. You you the one that fired the ticket late. What the hell are you coming back here for? You know what I mean?
I get you.
It is crazy. And this is something that I've worked with a lot of people. I've worked in a lot of kitchens, and it's always the same problem. I think sometimes they get so super busy because they're on the front of the house, and sometimes they have more than one table.
Madness.
And they have like 5, 6. Sometimes some of them have 4 tables. You know what I mean? So it's like managing these 4 tables and making sure everything is synchronized. It's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
But still, if you're knowledgeable, because most times they have a busser. So you have one person that takes the order and serves, and then you have a person that clears the table and replenish what needs to replenish or whatever.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's not the case in Jamaica.
So we like can't compare.
Yeah, America and Jamaica, right?
Because if you understand, if you go, there is restaurants there that are like
with
that.
Buster.
Yeah, you may not know they're busters. Because they're not going to have a shirt that says "I'm a buster."
No, but up here you normally see other persons going to the table and whatever. I've never seen that in Jamaica. Right. That's why I'm saying that.
Because like I said, the system is different there. Like, you understand that they don't have the
server
manpower
serve
to and do
and
everything.
Clear. And clean.
But like, if you go to most restaurants, even outside of America, it's the same system. They pretty much have a busser. They always have a busser. I've been to many restaurants in Jamaica and they have bussers.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but you just don't know it. You're not paying attention to that when you're out. Who's paying attention to if a restaurant has a busser or not?
Well, I've seen it up here, so.
Right. Maybe because you're paying attention.
I guess so.
Right. That's what it is. It's about just being observant.
But I've worked in a restaurant and I've never seen it. So.
Well, I understand. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody. Not everybody has that, but. That's some of the stuff that sometimes can be, annoying. And then a person will see a chef and then they'll
wonder
be like,
why is he such a dick, or what?
You're going to curse and talk about me. Oh my God, she going to curse. I'm going to keep it.
Why?
Yeah, why is
why he so angry?
Yeah, it's the communication sometimes. And it's not only with servers, it's just with managers or with the regular staff. Sometimes
everybody.
The kitchen staff. It's super difficult, man. And it's like I'm saying, piggybacking from what I was telling you, the first story is, if sometimes if a person communicate to you, it's easier. But then sometimes the person is frustrated, so they can't communicate to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's so many things that I've seen over the years. Even when I go out, I can tell, because I'm very observant. I like to watch. I like going to restaurants now that have like an open kitchen vibe. You know what I mean?
For real?
Like, if you realize nowadays that's the way they're going. Like, you can sit in the restaurant and watch
look in the kitchen
and watch them cook.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, and it's a bad thing, because in the kitchen the wildest stuff happens. Like, when if anyone of our listeners who are not
the
chefs,
wildest stuff,
you go
crazy jokes.
Listen, the most homophobic jokes, or let me say, the most gay jokes,
or
are done in the kitchen. Like, kitchen men do the wildest thing.
The worst.
I'm not sure if anybody would admit that, but I've seen,
true.
and I myself have done some stuff borderline gay. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And the funny thing about that is you never, ever would think somebody is gay. I've heard some people.
It's just jokes, though.
I've seen men in Jamaica and outside slap other men on their ass.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's great. That's deep.
No,
well,
I've seen that.
I've never seen that.
I've heard two men calling each other's baby.
Well,
and it's all for fun. Though. You know what I mean? They run some serious jokes.
Serious joke, for real.
Serious jokes in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Serious jokes.
So now I'm thinking, like,
and sometimes, they roast you so much.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You feel like you want to cry or something. Like, you have to, tough it out.
What
I remember I was working at this place and I wore glasses, and every day I went to this kitchen, they were like, Miss Birdie, come in.
Miss Birdie?
Yeah, which pretty much mean Miss Birdie is here because I'm a glasses. Me.
But why is it? I don't understand.
Because I'm a glasses. They were like, oh, her glasses is big or whatever.
So why the bird? Oh, you mean the little birdie?
Nickname. Yeah, Tweety Bird.
Oh.
Yeah, so they call me. So they call me Miss Birdie.
Oh,
so
my
every
gosh.
time I was about to go in the kitchen, I normally take off my glasses and
Yo, it's brutal. It is brutal to work in the kitchen.
go in the kitchen.
I think somebody. Is that a rain?
Yeah, it's raining.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
raining right now.
Yeah, so I think somebody should create. I think somebody should create a movie or like a, what do you call them things, like a Love and Hip Hop type vibe, like what do you call it, reality show. If somebody could create a reality show about the kitchen life, right? That would be a big seller. If somebody could put some cameras in the kitchen to get some of them footage and some of them crazy things that be happening in the kitchen, then it would be something crazy. Why your headphone all the way over here?
I don't know.
You need Jesus in your life,
Been needing him.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, like I'm saying, man, it's super fun to work there, but it's super difficult.
Stressful. It's really stressful.
One of the things that I always told myself I wanted to do, I would love to work in a Michelin star restaurant, because I work with this chef that used to work in a Michelin star restaurant. And
for real?
Yeah, he was telling. Yeah, but anyways.
Wait. Why you said like
no, because
something like
that.
Okay.
Sometimes I know I talk about a Michelin star a lot, right? But sometimes you hear, it's like you hear that somebody works in a specific place or does a specific task or whatever, and then you're thinking to yourself, like, this person gonna be
must be pretty good,
and then they just don't impress you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, this guy, he was one of those,
Lord, Oh Lord.
He worked and he told me, I work with this chef, they work with that chef, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then I was like, okay, you know what I mean? He was struggling with the place that we was working.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he was struggling. They fired him.
What?
It was like, I think he lasted about 6 months. When I got on the team, I was there for like a month and a half, and then they fired him.
They fired you too?
They don't really. No, they didn't fire me. They fired him, and like he couldn't manage. You know what I mean?
Oh,
the demand was too much, and that's another topic. I'm kind of going all over the place, but what I was saying about this shit that
you were saying the Michelin star
so
restaurant.
the reason why I always say that, because that's like the highest you can get in that field now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I always talk about it. But I heard that when you're working in a Michelin star restaurant, most of the times there's no talking. When it's service time, there's no joking around, there's no talking. Like, you stay in your station and you listen, you say yes chef and no chef, dead ass. No, for real. Because
also, you want to work. Sorry to cut you. You would want to work in that environment.
Yeah,
where
I want
it's
to
like
experience
no talking.
Yeah, I want to experience that because I've done the opposite of that for a long time. So I think it would be a good change. You know what I mean? And it would be a good learning process to work in an environment that you're just
quiet.
like, okay, and you think
focus.
Right, like, you think about it. The things that happen in the regular kitchen during service time is what cause a majority of the problems.
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean.
real.
And when you're working in an environment like a Michelin star restaurant, you have to be on point every day. Every meal has to be the same flavor, same presentation. There's a time limit on how long each food is supposed to be served.
Oh, so everything has to be precise.
Yeah, everything is precise. Like, they know they'll cook if the fish takes 2 minutes to cook, they cook it for 1 minute and 50 seconds. And then they know the next 50 seconds is from the pot to the plate. And by the time it gets to the table, they know exactly what's going to happen. And this is what, it's like it's so synchronized, the service. Even like when they bring the food to the table, if it's a big table, they have like 5 or 6 servers. So if it's 10 people, there's 5 servers at the table. And they put the food down and they lift it up at once, if they have a cover on it. So it is so synchronized. So, but I'm saying to you, like, when you work in a regular kitchen, there's not as uniformity as
True.
in there. And it's not as clear cut and precise. You know what I mean?
And the service, like, from the servers is not.
Yeah, it's crappy.
Yeah, and it's like, you go out with a group of people and 3 persons eating, and you have like 5 haven't gotten their food as yet.
Right.
And,
that's the
and
type
you have
of
to
stuff.
sit and wait.
Right. Service made mixed. I don't want to seem like I'm blaming servers all the time, because sometimes chefs do mess up. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're back there talking and not paying attention, and they'll miss something on the ticket.
Send out the food later or something.
Yeah, they send the food out later, or they'll put something on the ticket. They know that's not supposed to go. Like, somebody has an allergy of shrimp.
And they put it.
I've seen that a lot of times. People send the wrong stuff out to people. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. This is one of the things I never understand what people doing, like guests. And if you go to a restaurant, I recommend you don't do this.
What?
Don't be rude
to
servers and chefs.
Or chef. I don't know how.
It's like sometimes
I don't know how they do it. I'm so sorry, but I don't know how you can go even to, let's say, a fast food restaurant. I cannot go and buy food and be rude. Like, none.
I'll be rude, but I'm gonna do it when I'm driving off.
Or when I get my food, because people.
Being in the kitchen, guys, listen to what I'm saying. If you never worked in the kitchen, listen to what I'm saying.
Do not be rude.
If you work in the kitchen, then you understand what I'm about to say. If you go to a restaurant, whether it's a fast food restaurant, it's a mom and pop restaurant, even if it's a patty shop, do not be rude to the people that work there.
Unless you get your food.
I've seen people come to a restaurant. Listen to me now. I see people come to the restaurant
and be rude.
They order their food. The food comes out. They tell the server, "This is nasty. Send it back to the kitchen." And sit and wait for another meal. If you see,
crazy.
And I'm speaking on that, I've never done it before. Wink, wink. Never done it before. Anyways, but I've seen people do stuff to food of people who send food back to the kitchen.
So what was your reaction when you see that?
It depends on what the person did.
Oh, you're gonna say that it
I'm
depends?
being honest. It depends on what this guest did, because sometimes some of these guests are rude, man.
What? I've never experienced that. I can say thanks be to God.
I've worked in the kitchen and I saw somebody. They had a code.
Cold.
A code.
Oh.
CODE.
What? Wait.
So when a guest is rude to the server has a code that she comes in the kitchen and tells the chef, and they know exactly what it means.
So
And this was between two people. This wasn't the entire kitchen. I've seen that before. So
that was the entire kitchen?
No.
2 persons.
I'm saying to you that there's a server, and she has a code with a chef who's her friend.
Oh.
So whenever there's a rude guest, she would come in the kitchen
and code him,
and she would tell him the code. Let's say the code would be Firehouse. She'll come in the kitchen and say table 7 Firehouse.
Hot.
You know what I mean? And then they do some
Hot.
wild shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, that's disgusting. You know what I mean?
Well, for me, the most I've seen, which is not really disgusting, a customer order something spicy and be like, oh, this is not spicy or whatever. So they give them extra spice.
You almost incriminated yourself there for a second.
I'm saying
that happened to me one time too,
They give them extra spicy. I mean, can't eat the food. This is too spicy.
So that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing, though. I like when people do stuff like that. I don't like when people be throwing people food on the floor and rubbing it around and doing those nasty stuff. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, sometimes some people deserve that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just being honest.
No, nobody. I don't think so.
Sometimes, man, you have some people that's pretty
nice.
Anyways,
I think that's horrible.
Right, but let me tell you the story right quick. So, I was working at a property in back in Jamaica. It was like an exclusive property.
Yeah.
We only have villas, 14 villas.
The same property that you were talking about earlier? Or,
yes. Yes.
Wow.
But it was 2 separate. It was like there's one. I don't want to call their name or whatnot.
Okay,
but it's 2 separate properties.
Okay.
But they're under one umbrella. So
cool.
One of them had 13. Well, they say 14 villas, but it's really 13 because they don't use the number 13 on villas.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you go to a hotel, you'll never see room 13. No.
Oh, I've never.
That's something I'm teaching you. You never see a room 13.
Well, I've never.
Well, maybe they do. I've never. Most of the hotels, I've never seen a room 13 because they say 13 is a bad number.
I've never been paying attention to that.
So this place that I'm working, they didn't have a villa 13. They had 14. So it's 12 and then 14. So anyways, they had another property which had about 7 villas. And this, like if you're in Jamaica, you may know it, you may not know it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call the name because of the stuff I'm saying today.
Okay, Winston.
But
let's continue.
In no way, shape, or form I'm saying these things happen at this property, except the one with the meat, the chicken being medium rare and rare, right?
Yeah.
That happened at that property. This thing happened at that property, but it wasn't a bad thing. So I'm cooking. It's a celebrity.
What?
Yeah, he's a rapper. So the rapper came to the restaurant. Maybe I could call his name.
Why? We don't need names.
He's a beatboxer. So if you know like the old school hip hop, you know a beatbox with the mouth.
Yeah, Winston, we get it.
Anyways, so he was there, him and his lady, whatnot, and he said, "Hey, chef, what's up?" And I went out. He said, "You want to talk to the chef?" So I went outside. I was talking to him like, "Yo, whatever." He's like, "Oh, what you got?" I told him, what I have on the menu. I said, "What do you want?" He said, "Yo, it don't matter. Whatever you do, make it spicy because I like spicy food." I said, "You want it Jamaican spicy or you want it like American spicy?"
I just cursed.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, he said to me, I'm not paying you no mind. He said to me, "Nah, man, I need it spicy." He said, "I got
Jamaican spicy."
Nah, he said you need it really spicy.
Whoa.
I said, "Can you handle the spice?" He said, "Yeah, I can." So I went back to the kitchen and I'm like, you know what? I've heard this story before where people tell me
that
they want spicy.
And they get fucking
spicy.
And
then you give them spicy and then they start complaining. So anyways, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to just do a regular stuff. So I made him some food. He told me he had sinuses. And he said the spice helped him with the sinuses. I guess it makes him, I don't know how that works. But anyways, I made the food, I sent it out. He sent back the server with the food. He said, tell the chef the food is good, but it's not spicy enough. So I'm like, I said to the server, "You sure he said that?" She said, "Yeah, he said that." I said, "All right, bet. I'm going to give him spicy." I gave him the best of the best pepper that I had.
Whoa.
I got me them habaneros. the purple ones. I had some of those. I cut it up very fine.
Nicely.
I cut it up super small.
Ooh.
And I put the meat back and I sauteed up and boom, 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 bam on the plate. Send it out. He took a first bite. He said, I could hear him because the place is pretty small. So it's like a little section that it's like a bar in the front and the kitchen is in the back. It's like there's only 2 people could fit back there. So I heard him in the front. Yeah, chef, this is beautiful. I said, all right. And the next thing I know, I heard is, and then he started blowing the nose.
Oh.
And then I heard the server going for water.
And
then the wife is sitting there dying. So I stepped outside now because I'm like, okay, I want to see what's going on. So when I stepped outside, I said, you okay? He said, man, this is really good, but what did you put in there? So I told him, I said, yo, I put my special habanero. He's like, let me see it. I brought it out. He said, oh, I never seen this one yet before. Why so dark? Because it has like a purple.
Yeah.
Like a
dark color.
Yeah, purplish, burgundy, green color.
Yeah.
So he was like, yo, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I never had nothing this spicy in my life. So I said, yeah, but you said you wanted spicy. He said, yeah, but this is good though. He's telling me he's good in it, but for the whole time his eyes was running water. Like I'm standing at the table talking to him, and his wife was dying. You know what I mean? The server was laughing. All of us was.
Right.
I went back to the kitchen, and the server came back there. She's like, Winston, he's really, really dying. Like he was turning red.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, okay. So, that was a case where...
And he was saying that he likes it.
Yeah, he said he liked it. And he's like, yeah, this is good for my sinuses because it clears my sinuses out. Because he was just blowing his nose and like there was tears coming down his face. And
whoa.
Yeah, man. That was the funniest thing I've ever experienced when, somebody's sending the food back to me. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, man, this is remarkable. But like I said, the kitchen is a beautiful place to work. Sometimes it can be.
Sometimes.
No. Well, for me, it's all time. I can't see myself, and I've actually never done another job than working in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Whether it's on the hotline or in the garmager.
And for me, for the little time shop. I've been, in the kitchen, culinary industry or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I've never done another job. So school, it's been that, and work. So,
right. But like I'm saying, man, if you have to show respect to the chefs. You know what I mean, and you have to show respect to the servers, and you have to give them a break sometimes.
And try to communicate properly.
Right. And when you go to a restaurant, don't be asking for something that's not on the menu.
Yeah.
Don't go to the restaurant and see a tomato sauce with pasta and ask them, oh, can you take the tomato sauce out?
It's like that.
Because when you do stuff like that, you make the kitchen you back up the kitchen sometimes.
Yeah, for real.
Because if you have 15 people, you have some restaurants that you can't do that. On the bottom of the menu, it says fixed menu. You can't change nothing. Because if you understand, and then some people get upset like, oh, I'm paying my money. Why I can't get what I want? The reason why you can't get what you want is because if 20 people come in the restaurant and 20 people want to change something on the menu, just think about it. You know what I mean? I do it myself sometimes. You know what I mean? Change. Yeah, because like I don't eat everything nowadays. Before I used to. In some restaurants you go and they don't have like a specific type of meal for a specific type of diet. You know what I mean? So I can understand that, but sometimes you have like 15, 16, you get a ticket for the night and like 5, 6, back to back you got people changing stuff. People want to take out this and put this in. You know what I mean? It throws your game off because sometimes some of the stuff they be asking before you didn't prep it.
Yeah.
You may have it, but you may not have prepped it. You know what I mean? And most of the time, sometimes the servers do this thing where they always try to focus on making the tip. So they'll do whatever it takes to get the tip. And most of the times when they do that, they put the kitchen under pressure. You know what I mean? Because they be promising the customers things that they can't. They're not the one cooking it. You know what I mean? So now they promising the customers things because they trying to make that tip, and then they putting the pressure on the kitchen. And then they make the kitchen seem like they're not doing a good job. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's an intricate detail in working in the hotel or the restaurant industry. And like I said, man, if you understand the ins and outs, maybe we should do a couple more like this. You know what? I'm going to do a segment where we just talk about stories
in the kitchen.
Yeah, different stories that we've had encountered in the kitchen. Because I have so many stories, man. I've had so many stories. I have a story about somebody who came to me at, man, that same villa I talk about. I have so many experiences there. Man, I remember one time I made this cake. I'm not gonna tell the full story. I'm just gonna give you a small part of it. The next podcast we're gonna talk about that.
Snippet.
I'm gonna give you a snippet. So we're gonna talk about this in our next podcast. I was working at this property. Not gonna call no name.
Yeah.
And some guests came. Now I'm telling you, it's like
elite.
The price per night was like $1,500. The minimum US a night.
Oh.
And it's not including nothing. I think you only get breakfast. That's it. So you know it's expensive. So just think about the people that is coming there. So anyways, I'm cooking. I'm in the pastry shop and the lady called me out the front. Server came, called me. The server was like, yeah, so this lady want to talk to you. So I went over there. I said, hi, my name is Winston. My name is Chef Murdoch. I'm pastry chef.
You introduce yourself.
Yeah, because I always try to put myself out there. Because back then, I was trying to get me an American girl. You know what I mean?
Wait, Winston, wait.
I know I'm wild for saying that, right?
Yes.
But I was wild back then. I was just
putting yourself out
I'm
there.
putting myself out there. First of all, when the girl comes to the hotel and I talk to her, I'm trying to put myself in it. But anyways, let's not get into that.
Yeah, he's too much.
Yeah, that's too much I was going to say for it. But anyways, so the girl came. She's like, oh, chef, I want to do this. We came for a weekend and we're trying to have fun. Is there any way you can make us a weed cake? I'm like, I looked around. There was nobody. So I said, yeah, I can.
What?
I can do that for you.
I'll work, Winston.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I got so many stories about that. I'm gonna tell a couple of next week. Next podcast gonna be about that story time. Story time. That's what we're gonna call it.
It's a story time.
Yeah. So, anyways, she said to me, Chef, how much? I said, nah, just get me we'll get the weed and I'll take care of it. She said, all right, bet. She came back. She said, oh, I don't know where I could get it. I said, don't worry, I'll get it for you. So I got some weed, made the cake, gave her. So when I gave her the cake, I went to the room, I delivered it. I said, listen, don't eat too much. You got to take small portions. It was like 4 girls. She's like, oh, we did this before. But I said, nah, my cake is different. Don't eat too much. Oh, no. Long story short, they was missing for like 4 days.
What?
Yes.
Where were they?
I got to tell you in the next podcast. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in to this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful podcast. It was a nice conversation.
I hope y'all enjoyed it.
And tune in and come next week. We're going to talk more about story. We're going to do story time.
We're going to do a story time next week.
Story time. So story times, you're going to get some experience. You're going to hear some stories about
some kitchen experience.
You're right. Of stuff that happens in the kitchen, behind the house. You know what I mean?
Behind the scenes.
Yes. And I'm going to go deep into it.
Deep.
I'm going to go relationships.
Oh, for real? In the kitchen?
I'm going to go the drama, the fight.
We're going to do that?
Yeah, I'm doing it. But anyways, thank you for watching the Pastry Beer podcast.
Or listening
to the Pastry for the people.
Podcast.
No, I'm saying that for the people. Let me finish.
Sorry.
So I'm doing this. Thank you for watching the Pastry Beer podcast for the people on YouTube. Well, we don't really have a visual. We're going to start doing that.
Listening.
Okay, so thank you for listening to the Pastry Beer podcast. And join us next week, Tuesday, for our next podcast. Yes, we do a podcast every Saturday and every Tuesday. So those are the 2 days. So Tuesday coming, join us for that podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Chef W Murdoch, at CHEFW. People say they don't know what W is. That thing.
Thing after you. No, weird.
What?
That thing before
V.
W. Before you.
What?
W.
Anyways.
Oh, before V.
Yes.
Wait.
Jesus Christ, man. I don't know, man. How did you get this job? But anyways, at Chef W Murdoch on Instagram or at Pastry Beer TV. So at Chef W Murdoch or at Pastry Beer TV. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Pastry Beer TV. And Talisa?
And my Instagram is Telecia_Panadero, which is TELECIA_PANADERO. And y'all can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. My link will be in the, what's it called? Description. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So y'all
goodbye.
can hit me up. Have a good one.
Bye.
What was that?
Bye, guys.
Pace Beer TV. Big up.